What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square. We're chasing cinema.
Mr. James, shoot!
.com. We're here to visit the NBA.
This is me playing basketball.
This is the first big one since basically Space Jam. We got Uncle Drew.
It's the biggest basketball movie since Space Jam. That's too funny. Okay, Uncle Drew.
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving. Okay, see, I'm gonna give this disclaimer right here, right now. I know literally probably nothing about basketball, so my review, all you basketball fans who are watching movie reviews, something you normally wouldn't watch, but you want to know about this basketball situation, you have to bear with me because there's a lot of questions I have, and I probably don't know all the stars' names properly and all that, so bear with me. So what started as a soft drink commercial.
Pepsi.
Yes. Mr. Irving, dressed up in an old man suit.
Great commercial.
Went to these...
I use that commercial in my Mobilizing People training.
And if you want to learn something today, you need to go to this man's channel. Click that white eye and check out James' shoe, because he'll teach you something.
Anyway.
So he goes onto the
basketball court.
Basketball court. I was gonna call it
at a park.
Yeah, at a park, and he just starts schooling young cats, right? Just schooling everybody. Everyone loved it. Everyone thought it was so funny. So what do? We make that a feature-length film.
What else would you do?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the thing is too, it wasn't right away. That commercial was at least 5-6 years ago. It had to have been. I don't know if they kept making versions of that commercial.
From my knowledge, no.
I don't know. Again, me being so ignorant with the basketball world, I have no idea. But what do? We get Lil Howery from Get Out, the TSA agent. Great comedian who I actually like. Yeah. You get Tiffany Haddish, also a really big name when it comes to comedies right now.
On fire.
You throw him in a movie with a bunch of basketball stars, including Reggie Miller,
Shaquille O'Neal, Lisa Leslie,
who I really know.
WNBA's biggest star.
Yeah, I love her. I don't know.
Probably.
I forgot how I discovered her, but I was like, oh, I'm a fan of her. She was like one. I was like, oh, okay, I know who she is. Webber. There's a Webber in the movie. Chris Webber. Guys, I was up front. So basically we have all these really great, talented basketball players dress up and as old people, and they come back for this very famous, I can't even remember the name of the court now, and it's like literally the entire movie is based around this court, this very famous street court basketball tournament. And it's one of the most generic movies you'll ever see. Like, it's literally scene after scene, it's hitting the points of every generic like comedy, and the whole movie's joke is that, oh, they're just old, right? Like, of course there is a crazy moment in the movie, well, not crazy, but I guess I say that with sarcasm, where they have a dance-off and the old guys are dancing, and they're playing basketball. It tackles all these things that you would just expect from a movie where the characters aren't old, wink wink. And it reminds me, sometimes SNL skits do really well, and what they'll do is they'll make movies and everyone just goes, wow, that was really long for a movie. Like, it just kind of works in that small bit. Not saying this movie does feel long, even in an hour and 43 minutes, but the whole story feels really, really rushed. It doesn't get into things quickly, but everything just seems like it happens really quick. So Lil Howery, after losing his star team for this tournament, he's a coach, decides to go on the road and gather up Uncle Drew and all of his friends for one more tournament. And in the matter of 2 days in the movie, like, they become his family that he never had and all this stuff. And all, every cheesy, tacky thing that you would expect from something like this. But for me, it wasn't the fact that it was a skit turned into this long thing. It's just the one reason why the skit works is because the people involved don't know that they're professional basketball players. Here, like, everyone just knows who that is. Like, of course they're going to be good when they play basketball. And I mean, I guess it's fine if... I guess I don't so much see the leap of watching your favorite basketball player play a basketball in a movie dressed up as an old person. I mean, I get it as a storyline, I guess, but, and there's how many times do we get the joke, I'm too old for this, things like that. Tiffany Haddish isn't used as well as she should be. I think most of the movie's jokes are quite flat and very familiar.
That might have been because she wasn't blown up yet, maybe. Depending on when they filmed this.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not her fault. She's just not really in the movie that much. I think Howery is a great talent. We saw a lot of him at CinemaCon. We saw a lot of this movie at CinemaCon. And, I think he's an extremely talented cat. I just don't think here he has a lot of material to work off. Everything just feels very basic. Like they were given like the value meal of what a script should be, and they just filled in the variables of it. Instead of this scenario, they're old basketball players, and you know, of course, there's the message of family and teamwork and all that stuff. But I think the problem is just that even being in a group, a general audience screening, where I'm assuming only reason why people came out because they like basketball and they like these players.
Aaron came.
Yeah, a lot of the jokes didn't land. Like there was a few like just moments where you know some of the characters are just silly, but overall there's nothing too memorable about it. I don't think it was awful, but I mean, I was just kind of like, all right, this is fine. But I mean, I don't think we actually see them play basketball for the first hour and 10 minutes in the movie. Yeah, it's a long time to see what you want them to see, you know. I mean, but it's the first like hour is them getting all together and like fixing the troubled past and all that. And there's a few other stars in this movie that make little cameos and things like that. But Mike Epps is in it, for instance. He plays a barber. And overall, it's all the things that you would expect to see, and it's just not that amazing. I mean, I'm sure basketball fans and people who I guess are big fans of these basketball players will come in, be happy with it, but I don't think there's like much here as a movie. You have that gimmick, but that's the only thing you have going for it.
That's fair. If you don't want to watch this one, you can also watch Sicario Day of the Soldado.
Yes, which is a very, very different experience. Click that white eye above Mr. Shu's head to see that.
A little different, huh?
A little different.
A little different.
A little different. That would be good. Now, see, if you pit all those basketball players and then you put them in old makeup and then put them in Sicario, I'm in, right? Like, basketball players playing basketball, that's not a good enough leap. You need to have them do something crazy.
Freaking fighting the Mexican cartel.
They're like the secret organization, like all the guerrilla warfare that they bust out when everything goes awry. They're like, this is the good team, and they're all old and stuff. See, there you have something interesting. Anyway,
next week though is a big week.
Number 20.
Number 20 in the MCU Marvel Cinematic Universe, Ant-Man.
And the Wasp.
Paul Rudd.
I enjoyed Ant-Man.
Evangeline Lilly.
I was not disappointed with that movie.
Michael Douglas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
The ticket right there, Michelle Pfeiffer. I am so happy to see Catwoman back on screen and in a superhero movie. I don't know if
she's having a little bit of a renaissance right now.
Yeah.
Like the comeback.
I mean, Michelle, but did she ever really go away?
Yeah, I didn't mean it for me.
Her presence is like just always
for
been
me.
there.
I didn't see her in movies for like a decade. I felt.
Yeah, well, she was in Hairspray, and I'm sure. I think she was in a few other things in between. She's definitely not that big of a presence anymore. But when she does come, it's always enjoyable.
Because she was recently in the one crazy movie, Mother.
Yes.
Yeah, she was in Mother.
Orient Express.
Orient Express. Yeah, so she's
and
around.
Now she's in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then she will be in Avengers 4. I mean. It's
interesting to see where she'll go, but I mean, she's great. I've always been a huge fan of her. Obviously, you know, being a little kid and watching Batman Returns and like
Catwoman,
the first
Leather
film, you know, like the real film incarnation of Catwoman, Selena Kyle. Even though it was like completely not Selena Kyle and like how that origin and everything works out. It was really out there. I remember if you go back, I did a whole Batman week in lieu of Dark Knight Rises, and I reread these recently, and I was like, Selena, I mean, this is like the greatest incarnation of Selena Kyle. Like, she is Selena Kyle. And then you think about like how she actually turns into Catwoman in this movie, Batman Returns, and you're just like, oh, that's not how these things happens at all. This doesn't make any sense. But she just does it so well. And I actually was fortunate enough to see the suit that she wore at the WB studios, and it was just like one of the coolest moments ever, the like exact suit that she had worn. Anyway, we got off topic. What were we talking about?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It's coming out next Friday. We want you to be here.
Comment below.
And if you're not into the silly fun stuff from Marvel movies, there'll also be the first Purge. We can kind of figure out how this crazy event all came
was
about.
allowed.
Yeah. And following that, they have a television show coming out, so we'll get a lot more Purge. Purge is just taking over.
So next Thursday, 2 movies. You decide what you want, but either way, you decide to come here.
Yes, AMC Town Square. We're going to be here the day after 4th of July. Speaking of which, hope you have a safe and fun 4th of July.
Be safe.
Be here on the 5th
No burning houses.
at 10 p.m. Yeah,
it's sad because
it's super, super hot out. A lot of things are dry, guys. Be super careful. I know everyone's gonna be swimming. Just be cool.
Yeah,
have fun. Be safe. And then celebrate our independence with the first Purge or Ant-Man and the Wasp. What other way to do it at the movies with your friends here?
I'll say Ant-Man.
At AMC Town Square at 10 p.m.
And don't forget, ChasingCinema.com is known as
the Film Lovers website.